I was recently in Miami for 2 days, and then I embarked upon a ship to have a few days of relaxation before my next push forward of travel. I put myself on a boat of 5,000 people, one of the biggest cruise ships in the world, the Liberty of the Seas, Royal Caribbean, for 5 days with my girlfriend. I wasn't quite sure what I was going to get out of this trip. I wasn't quite sure how productive I would be. I'll tell you that I did do something that was quite easy. I gained 7 pounds. Going into the trip, I told myself I was going to be pretty clean in my diet prior to leaving because I knew this could happen, and it did. I gained 7 pounds, and I thought I was doing well. I saw a lot of America on that boat. And I think a couple of them beat me on that 7-pound mark. But that's, I guess, what you do on a boat like that. More so than my dietary guidelines and what I did on that boat, I came across a different game, so to speak, that fell into my lap. In the evenings after having eaten all your food and sat outside on the deck, I went to go gamble. On a boat, there aren't that many things to do. You'll see the ag show, you'll see the juggling act, and then you'll possibly go to the casino and do what people do in a casino and gamble. The first 2 nights weren't very good. I consider myself a pretty aggressive player. I know gambling's not really in one's favor to do a lot, but I decided it doesn't matter. I'm going to go play. I had 5 nights on the boat. I'm going to take my shots. I was down on the first 2 nights, pretty badly. And I said to myself, I need to change my strategy because I have 3 more nights on this boat, and I'm not going to leave me wondering if I continue doing what I'm going to do. So I decided, where can I use my skills in Toastmasters? Where can I use my psychology? Where can I use my aggressiveness in a different way? And I decided to play poker. I decided that I'm not going to play against the house, but against you guys. I'm going to play against the other people that are gaining 7 pounds, the other people that are drinking all day, because I think my odds are much better than you. So I did it. I played poker. And in playing poker, I discovered a couple things about myself and other people, and I developed a few of my own new philosophies about how I play the game and how I see others play. And it was quite interesting. Poker can be a game that can take a while to win. It's not a game you're going to sit down and necessarily win big right away, which is what I tend to try to do all the time. And it wasn't working. For 2 days, I said my bankroll was very low, and I decided I'm going to sit down and take a small amount of money and try to play slow and build it up to a hopefully redeeming amount. So, has anyone played poker here before? Any hands? Do we understand how poker's played? Right? Okay, so you're going to be basically dealt 2 cards. I was playing Texas Hold'em No Limit Poker. And you're going to have 2 cards, and there's 5 community cards that you're trying to make your best hand with. And there's about 4 to 5 people around you doing the same thing. And at any time in Texas No Limit Poker, someone can put all their chips forward and put you at a decision for all the money you've brought onto the table. So it sounds like there is an aggressive nature to this game, which I like. Having been a former athlete, I don't play a sport anymore. I found that gambling somehow offers some level of competition. It doesn't really suit the way I like it, but it's something. And that's why I probably gamble a little bit too much. I don't need to. I don't have a gambling problem. The first thing you say is I don't have a problem. So my first evening, or my 4th evening of gambling, it was 4 in the morning. I sat down at the table, and I was really watching the people play. And I noticed about 4 to 6 people were drinking. So right there, strategy number 1, do what no one else is doing. I didn't drink. I sat down and I just studied. And I watched people play. I watched how they were speaking to each other. And I said, Toastmasters, okay, how can I present myself? How am I going to come across as a communicator? And it didn't really involve too much of speaking. I didn't want to talk very much. I wanted to be very quiet and very tight with how I played. And sometimes when I'm speaking in my speeches, I'm very aggressive and I'm very telling you guys what to think and whatnot. I decided to kind of just be very metered with my speaking and go for it. And having to play for the 3 to 4 hours I was playing, the Kenny Rogers song came into mind. It says, you got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, and know when to run. Now there are a few times in that 4 hours where I had to think about that. But I'll tell you, I stayed tight and I stayed into my strategy, not being aggressive. I let it kind of marinate. I let people test me and let them watch what I was doing. Because they saw me and they thought that I would be aggressive. I sat down with $100. It was 4 in the morning, and I was put in a decision for my chips. I had slowly taken that $100 and I had a $2,000 bankroll now. This is all cash. And the one man had to put his chips forward on his last hand. And I said to him, "Are you going to go all in?" And he said, first. I had him right there. I knew my Toastmasters experience said he is not being consistent right here. He's not completely confident in his hand. And I said to myself, looking at my chips that I had just worked very hard for, I'm going to do the same. I looked at him right in the eye and go, "I'm in with you." I put $2,000 forward. He put his chips forward, and I took the pot. My biggest hand, my biggest win ever. It took me 4 hours to get to that place. I didn't play that big the whole way there, but I did. And the next 2 nights, I played the same way. And I played poker one other time in my life with other people. And there's a philosophy in what I was doing here. It was about changing the strategy and knowing when to basically do the right thing at the right time. Doing the right thing at the wrong time can be incredibly painful. But you have to go through the motions. You have to understand that there's a lot of other factors that you can't handle or understand. You have to let the past stay in the past and let the future be in the future. Be in the now. And poker teaches you to stay in the now and to read your opponent, read your environment, but read yourself, your cards. Play your cards better. In closing, I'm in it to play. I'm in it to win, knowing that there's a lot of wins and losses along the way. Thank you.